my first, my last, my everything, and the answer to all my dreams. You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star, my kind of wonderful. That's what you are.
Cool. Sweet. So here we are, another episode, and I have Pinolicious. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I got my kids in the background, so you have to forgive them.
No, forgive them. No, hell no. They're a part of the episode, man.
What's going on, man? Merry Christmas,
Happy New Year. I didn't catch up with you, unfortunately, but you had a good one, good wrap up for 2020.
Yeah, just family stuff. Nothing big, just chilling. Lots of video games. I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm addict, bro. I'm in casual gamer mode.
Hibernation. God, man. Yeah, well, this is the time, right? Like, no offlines. No one's really. Yeah. Sweet, man. Yeah. So just give us the rundown as to who you are.
Pinolicious, Big Papa Pino. I've been playing fighting games since forever. Like most people, right? Street Fighter 2 at the Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and then what else did I play? Smash Brothers Melee, and then everything else under the sun. Yeah, man, video games. I'm an addict.
You're a big addict. I think I remember running to you back in the old like eFans days, like the small cheeky like Eddie player, like always laughing after every set. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Who does he think he is?
Yo, man, Eddie cracks me up, I don't know why people have a hard time playing against Eddie. And so I just thought I'd just pick it up. Like, look, I'm not, it takes me forever to learn stuff. So quickest way to get wins, I just like, okay, I'll learn Eddie. That's it. That's where I'm at. Play the gimmicks. What are fundamentals?
Yeah, I mean, everyone plays that character if they don't know how to play the game, if they want to start out. But then when you run into an actual Eddie player, it does get really frustrating, and you enjoy that.
I love it. Generation Salt. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. So like, what were the games you say you were jamming right now?
Right now, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm like full on. I upgraded some stuff. I have to wait for that. It's meant to be a secret.
Okay.
So we're playing Cyberpunk, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, jumping on that trend. Yeah,
cool.
That's cool. Did you follow that kind of controversy? The whole appropriation of Maori culture.
Yeah, I mean, I see it, but I got nothing to contribute. Like, it's not my scene. I'm just here to play video games. I'm not here to freaking be political about it or have any say, because it's not my culture. I respect it. If people got their own battles, that's cool. I'm just here to play video games. That's me.
I mean, you are one of those few FGC players in our scene that is trying to grow their brand, as a streamer, and just general content creation. Are you still passionate about fighting games?
Yeah. Look, games. I'm just passionate about games, right? Like, I still love fighting games, but like now that like I'm a dad, my time is limited, so I try to maximize my gaming time to what I get the most out of what. At the end of the day, I don't want my time to be wasted, because my gaming time is already limited, right? So like last year, leading up to Nats, I was like full on Power Rangers because I really wanted a good run and trying to win Nats. So every time I had time to play games, it was Power Rangers. Before that, it was like trying to win Soul Calibur or like Red Zone 2019, right? So I was like Madden Soul Calibur. But now I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm easy. Let me go back into casual gamer mode. So now all my gaming mode is playing Cyberpunk at the moment.
Well, would you say you are an advocate for Battle for the Grid?
I mean, yeah, I still support it. Don't get me wrong. I sort of love more people to play it. I just haven't touched it since Nats. Not because I've given up or quit. It's just that my gaming time is already limited, and so I'm just trying to play what I'm enjoying at the moment. But otherwise, yeah, man. Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid. Get that game. Scorpina's out. She's amazing. I haven't touched her. I had the season pass, but I haven't touched her. But she looks fly.
Would you say we have a strong Battle for the Grid scene in New Zealand? There are a few players that stand out. Like you've got some of the Tinker Boys. You have yourself. Yeah.
We're like, okay. So as you know, as most of us already know, New Zealand is already low population, right? So like whatever fighting game we play, it's gonna be low pop. And then Power Rangers as a game as a whole is already a low pop relative to the other games. So it's almost like the people that actually do play regularly will be your best players. Do we have a strong scene? I think relative to Australia, maybe around about Nats. I'm biased. I'd probably say New Zealand was stronger, but I think lately I've seen Tomo from Australia doing all right. But yeah, I haven't. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a couple of months.
That's such a big statement to say that we've got a stronger scene than Australia. Is that game not as favorable in that area?
I think when I was active, for me, I just think Tomo was the biggest threat there. I think just like New Zealand, they just had a small pop when it comes to Power Rangers, and all the people that were actively playing it were playing other games at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Do you think it's still rough to be, say, a Marvel vs. Capcom fan, or is Power Rangers kind of on par in terms of its, limited player access and fan base?
I don't know. I think Marvel will just always have a bigger scene, a more passionate scene. I mean, like if you look at like the lockdown stuff, the past X stuff, everyone's trying to get back into Marvel 2, Marvel 3 through emulation and whatnot. So I think Marvel just for the hype and its history, it'll probably be popular.
Yeah. Just a quick mention in terms of like COVID and lockdown. How was that for you, man? Was it quite hard for you, or was it relatively easy?
Like, look, I know my situation. I'm living a very privileged life. It was good for me. I still got work. I get paid quite a bit. My wife still got work. She gets paid even more. We were sitting real pretty. Yeah. I know others out there had a much harder time, but we were good. And I'm mindful of that.
Were you playing much Battle for the Grid in lockdown?
I played a lot of Battle for the Grid during lockdown. I was working from home. So I played a lot of Battle for the Grid.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of us made that situation work. Those who could play, play at home, and you're playing Battle for the Grid, and I would always see you on Twitter posting your results on these online tournaments that you would participate in. Now, was this like, were you playing against a lot of the American players, or like, how often were you doing these like tournament like runs?
Yeah, so how did that start? I guess COVID, stuck at home, and I was like looking for something to play. Not gonna lie, when Power Rangers was like first announced, or when it was first released, I bashed that game.
I did the same, bro. I did the same, man.
I'm the biggest hypocrite, man. And then yeah, it's like, you know what? I want to try and play this. There was hardly anybody in New Zealand playing it at the time. And during office hours, everyone's meant to be working. So that was like America's prime time. That was their evenings. So I hit up like the Discord, and hit up the Americans, and I just played whoever I could. Didn't matter if they had just started or if they were like deep into it, doing touch of deaths, whatever. I was just hungry to play.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I entered everything.
Yeah. And what was the skill level like? Like, were you expecting them to be a certain way, to play a certain way?
I mean, at the time, not really. I didn't have any expectations because I was coming in new, like I was just seeing what could be done, like just how to play, just who to play. At that stage, I wasn't looking at who was who and who could do what. I just wanted to play.
Hey, I mean, dude, I don't blame you. When Battle for the Grid released 2, I felt the same. I felt like it didn't have that depth that maybe that maybe Marvel games had. But then in time, like it really did get fleshed out, and a lot more people were playing it. They became passionate. What is it about this particular fighting game? What does it add to the fighting game scene?
I think for me, it was just that time, right? Lockdown, no locals, everything was online. And at the time, it just had the best online. I mean, I was able to play from New Zealand, you know. I was able to play people from the States, South America, Australia, Japan, heck, even Europe. Like you can't get any further than like New Zealand to UK. And that was playable. It wasn't the best, but if you tried to play any other fighting game online from New Zealand to UK, it just wouldn't work. So yeah.
Who are some of the other players? Like you have Simp, you've got Consistent, and you even had Dave as well that was streaming a few like Power Rangers sets. Yeah,
Dave the best of one champion. Yeah. I guess it's just the five of us, and then there's a few. Like I know Karen was playing. Who else? There was a few of us, eh? Man, I forgot all their handles and whatnot. What's his name? The dude that plays all like the poverty games and finds all the cheap stuff. Mao, yeah. He was playing Power Rangers. Even Blackout attempted it for a bit.
He was doing really well. And you didn't. You go, bro.
And even a few people that don't even participate in locals these days, like Lenny, Stereo Monkey. There's a few like, you know, few players from the scene of yesteryear that were giving it a good go as well. Just not active these days in the scene, but they were jamming the Power Rangers too.
And you mentioned it before, Touch of Death. Marvel has, you know, it has that touch of death, you know, the combos and shit. Is it the same with Power Rangers? Because I feel like you can, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it looks like you can endure a lot more. Like, it's hard to get the touch of death combos.
By the time I got into it, like when I was trying to get like play it competitively, I think the meta definitely a big aspect of it was touch of death, right? Like the main characters, if you could get a touch and then kill off a character that's you wanted to kill, that's it. So it was definitely TOD heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then coming into nationals, you have mentioned it. Any comments about your run, your experience? Did you have a fun time, bro?
That's fake news, man. I demand a recount. No, that was a lot of fun. No regrets. Obviously, you know, like I wanted to win, but we all wanted to win, and that's you know, you can't take that away, right? Like if it was just me that was hungry, and I won with no one else trying, then that would just be an empty victory. So it was fantastic that like we were all there to play to win. So yeah.
I know the Tinker Boys have really been pushing their assertiveness on this game. How much work did you put in to make sure that you would give them a decent fight, a decent show?
Man, you were there. We were at a house party, and instead of like being social, like I was sitting in the corner playing Power Rangers online with Japan. I was playing online with Japan, trying to like, you know, get myself in the zone for nets. That's how hungry I was.
Yeah. So you playing Duseki. Yeah, are you just going in there wanting to put on a good show? Like, what was your process heading into this?
I don't know. Right? Like, look, I don't normally get nerves. Like I don't. But I guess this was one of the only few times, maybe even the first time, where I like really wanted to win. And I guess it got to my head. Like, I mean, thinking back, I was just trying to run my game. I wasn't really thinking too hard. I don't really think too hard about these things. I was there to win. I didn't get it. That's all there is to it.
What I do like is your neck pillow. Did you just come from a nap before coming on the stream?
I'm always coming in from a nap, man. Naps are the best. When I'm on the bus, on the train, I'm napping, dreaming of winning.
Yeah, I mentioned it to someone. I was surprised. Like, you even made top 8 in SoCal. Like, this was quite an eventful nationals for you.
Why are you surprised, man? I'm Big Papa Pino, bro. It's Soul Calibur, man. You know, Soul Calibur, right? Like, I had never touched the Soul series before, until what, Red Zone Rumble 2019. That was the first time I played Soul Calibur. I quite like that game too, eh? I didn't play it as much as I'd like to, just because I don't have time. But yeah, Soul Calibur's my jam. Why wouldn't I get top 8? I should have gone top 4, really.
What's one thing you could have done?
Wait,
you did get top 8. I don't know. You got top 4 in Power Rangers.
I got top 4 Power Rangers, and I'm pretty sure. No, I only got top 6, I think.
Yeah, I think my favorite photo was the Tinker Boys took a photo of the top 3 for Power Rangers, and then they had you in there just so they could say, "Oh, it's a top 4 photo," and you're like sleeping at the base of some stairs.
Let me tell you okay, there was that photo afterwards, but prior to that, at the event, okay, Dave set me up big time, and I'm calling him out here, right? He's like, "Darren, bro, get in the back rooms." Like, why? It's like top 4 photos, like, but it's usually only top 3. It's like, no, it's top 4. And me being gullible, right? I walked in there and I was like, "Hey, I heard there's a photo here," and they just looked at me like, "Oh, look at this guy trying to get into our top 3 photo, bro." You set me up big time, man. I got shamed out, eh? Like, it's all fun though. It's all fun at my expense.
Whenever I see you play, it's always about the fun, and you love to put on theatrics. So, like, to see you have this kind of run at nationals, that was really fun, man. It was good.
Cool, cheers. I love it.
Obviously, we get to our Christmas damager. You know, people are wanting to conclude the year on a good note. You know, you participated in Soul Calibur again. Who was your teammate? Because it was a 2v2, eh?
It was Dog, bro. He you know, after Nats, I saw him cheat, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess if I have him on my team, we can cheat the victory." But man, he tanked it hard. I had to carry him, bro. My back was, well, it would be sore, but you know, I'm pretty strong, so I carried his ass all the way.
Always doing the father role, man. Always got to carry the weight. Always got to carry the weight, huh?
Bro,
Yeah.
That dude leave me down on Dog, bro. If you're watching, man. You're pretty light though, eh?
I think you were sitting at a table with Shamir, Lewis, and I think it was that guy Timberverse, that streamer, and we were talking, and you were mentioning this thing about Rubik's cubes, and like you were talking about like in terms of like how fast, like there is a certain skill to it. Like I look at a Rubik's cube and I think, how many hours does it take to actually get it? But you were talking about like world champions, the fastest time that people can do it, and you've taken an interest into that, I've seen.
Yeah, so how did that start? Oh, because my son, where is he? He's over there. He's all like, "Dad, I want to get a Rubik's cube," and I'm like, "Are you gonna learn how to solve?" Like, "Yeah, I know how to do it." It's like, "All right, okay." I bought it for him at Kmart. It was like $20. Not even a day. It's like, "I don't like this." It's like, "Why?" Like, it's too hard. You didn't even try. Yeah. It's like, "I don't want to play it." I got upset. I got angry. It's like, that's my $20. That's my $20. So I picked it up. Yeah, he's listening. He's embarrassed now. He's left the room because he knows. So I picked it up. I Googled it, YouTubed it, how to solve it. And then I learned how to solve it. And I was like, how fast can people go? And I watched like these world champions. There's a doco on Netflix called Speed Cubers. Watch it. They got some ridiculous times, man. Like 6 seconds, sub 6 seconds. Holy
Their hands
moly.
must be like going, you know, like
yeah, just like that. It's amazing to watch. It's spectacular.
So what's your fastest time solving a Rubik's cube?
My fastest time, I think. I think my recorded fastest time that I saved was like 32, 33 seconds, something like that.
That's actually really good.
But my average, I think, is like 40 seconds now, or sub 40. I haven't timed myself in a while. So yeah, it's funny though, that same Christmas damager when I was playing with my Rubik's cube, right? Because I'm just a casual, right? And also because I got fidget fingers, I like fidgeting with stuff. So now I just carry it everywhere, so I can just constantly go like this, just fidget, fidget fingers. I was playing around with it, and Tiny Josh, crack up, he comes up to the table, he's like, "Oh, I see you got Rubik's cube there. What's your time?" And I'm like, "Oh," thinking, "Oh, where's this going? This guy's here to flex." Okay, all right. I was like, "Oh, it's just this and that, just under 40." He's like, "Oh, is that all?" And I'm like, thinking, "Is that all? What you mean, is that all?" I go, "Well, What's your time? It's like, oh, just under 20 seconds. I was like, sorry about it, just under 20 seconds. Sorry about it.
Man,
Wow,
some
what a
of
flex
these
guy.
young guys, they go for the flex first, man. Fire.
Nah, I like it, man. Good. I keep that energy up, Tiny
Yeah.
Josh. I love it. It was he kicked ass at Christmas
Yeah,
Stamina
no, he
too as
did.
well.
But I mean, you kick some ass too. But so how do you? So what's the process? So how does it go about? Doing this thing, because there's the timer. We see you looking at the cube and then putting it down. So what is the process to like yeah.
The way I learned, the way most people learn is like layer by layer. So you solve like this layer. You just solve it layer by layer. How do you do it? You start off with a cross here. Usually I start with a white cross. Let me just show you a quick demo,
Yeah.
right? So cross, it's hard to show you at the same while I'm solving it, but I'll do my best. So essentially, you want to start with this white cross here like this. And then you want these to match like this here. So there's blue, there's orange, green, and red,
Yeah.
right? And that's the first step. And then the next step, which is usually the bulk, is now you got to try and match all these first two layers here. FT first two layers. This part takes a while. This takes me like about, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. And then you solve it in layers. That's what you're meant to do. But
Yeah. So for a speed run, you say you're allowed to pick it up and have a look at it and judge it from the angles, but you only have, did you say 15 seconds to do it and then you have to put it back down?
I think they give you 15 seconds to inspect it. So they shuffle it for you, then you just look at it, and while you look at it, you plan like how you're gonna start. And then you have to start within 15 seconds, otherwise you get penalized. I think that's how it is in competition.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So your dream would be, what would your dream time be? Would it be to get to 20 seconds or even quicker? Okay, no, I see it.
I don't know. What would I want? Jeez. Under 30 would be nice, but then I told myself under a minute would be nice, and I achieved that ages ago. And now I'm like, oh man, I'd like to get under 50 and then under 40. And now that I'm achieving that, you're always taking the next step. So under 30 would be nice. And when I break that, I'll probably say under 20 would be nice. But like most things, when you learn something, right? Like, it gets harder and harder to get to the next level.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, just, because when I saw that Rubik's Cube in Christmas Damage, I thought, your fascination with it and the speed runs is, hey, holy hell. Okay, Pino, Big Papa Pino.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, eh?
Yeah.
I quite like it. I enjoy it. Like I said, fidget fingers keeps me
Who's
busy.
someone in our scene that you could imagine if you give them a Rubik's Cube to solve, they would actually need, they need a lot of willpower. Like, they'd probably take a whole day to fix it.
A day. Some people, I can just picture some people just struggling forever. I mean, I think it's one of those puzzles where it's like, if you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here. The scene did the maths, and it's like, there's like 4.7 quintillion something like arrangements. Okay, that's how many there are. Like 4.7 pentamillion.
Yeah.
It's a big number of different variations. Yeah. So if you don't know like the basic step-by-step process, you're gonna spend forever.
Alrighty then. Cool. So yeah, I guess I get into the bit with you now, competitor / stronger presence as a streamer, as well as an FGC dad, which we have very few in our scene. Yeah, I mean, the obvious question is, how do you balance the stream life, the FGC life, with being a dad, a husband, a father, your duties, but just more so, where does the energy come from? Because, like, I would imagine living your life after a full day's work, you'd probably be spent of energy, but you still have enough to do other creative things.
I don't know, just this is the mindset, I guess. I mean, always put my family first. I mean, sure, I'd like to play more video games, but I like to think that my wife and kids keep me in check. Otherwise, I'll do nothing but play video games all day. So yeah, it's just like everything, right? Like a balance, a bit of this, a bit of that, and sometimes I just try to combine things. So when I was doing like the streaming thing, I thought, okay, if I'm playing games, I'm gonna stream as well. So that's like two things done at the same time with my limited time, playing games and streaming. I did try to do the whole like schedule content creation, stream schedule stuff, but that just didn't work. And I'm like, where am I going with this, man? Like, if it's not fun, why am I doing it, kind of thing. So now it's just more like, I'm playing games. Do I feel like streaming? Yeah, okay, I'll stream. If not, well then no, I'm not gonna bother. I'll just play games, that kind of thing. I just wing it. Wing it.
What's been the best and the worst game you've ever streamed?
Oh, Roblox with the kids. It was actually my son that got me into streaming. On his seventh birthday, I was like, what do you want for your birthday? He's like, I want a YouTube, Dad. I was like, what's a YouTube? I'm like, I want a YouTube. He meant he wanted a YouTube channel. I was like, okay, what kind of content are we making? And he showed me some of the people that he watched, and it was just people playing Roblox or whatever. So I was like, okay, how about we stream, and then we just like edit bits of your stream and into like a video, and then we'll make a YouTube channel out of that. The streaming thing's easy, right? You just set up your cameras, push go live, and start playing. But the video editing stuff, man, that was like, oh man, this is too much effort, eh? Like, I can't be bothered with this. So we dropped the whole like YouTube thing and we just stuck to streaming. And when he and I were streaming, it was great fun. We had like people from like Mexico, from Chile, from like Indonesia, Philippines. They'd come in and watch and say hello. During like the 6 to 12 months, however long we were streaming for, he made some friends around the world. I know there's this one kid like Freddie Frasbear from, I think, Indonesia. He was playing regularly with Elijah. So I love that aspect. We got to meet a whole bunch of people around the world, and they were real cool. They were real chill. And so that was the best thing. The worst thing is that I was playing Roblox, and Roblox, it's not my game. I hate it.
Oh, Pino.
He didn't hear me. Don't worry. He's got his headphones on.
It's interesting though. Like a lot of kids, like streaming is that escapism, but then, as a parent, you're concerned with what they're being exposed to, the people that they'll meet.
Oh yeah, definitely, like 100%. So I had to like, how did I set it up? I set it up so that like he couldn't read the chat, and I'd read the chat to him. So then I could like kind of filter the appropriate and inappropriate comments, so he'd never have to see that stuff. It was a lot of fun. In fact, there were only a few trolls, and then the few trolls that like jumped in, right? Like, you know what they say, never feed the trolls, right? So like, I'll just chat to them like normal. I wouldn't read out their like dumb messages. I'll just chat to them normal, like, hey, penis head 124, how's your day? Where you from? Hello from New Zealand, that kind of thing. And either they keep trying to like troll and then realize that I'm not going to take the bait and then give up, or they're like, oh, okay, this guy's actually all right, and they'll start talking to you properly, and then sometimes become return viewers. So
turning the haters, turning the haters into fans. Yeah.
I think I enjoy the streaming thing, but if I had to be honest, like it's one of those things where it's like the top, not even top 1%, the top 0.1%, maybe even less than that, will actually make it. I think if you're doing streaming as a career, nah, man, you'd have an easier time just going to McDonald's or Pack and Save, start as like a burger flipping or a checkout operator, and then work your way up into management. You'd have a much easier time making money that way than trying to make money off streaming.
So with your kids, do you try to employ that view set on them quite early on?
Hey, look, it's a gun.
I don't know. Like early on, I was learning a lot of things. And I had mixed feelings. I did let it get to my head a bit. Trying to like hit numbers, be consistent, blah blah blah. But like, I think to myself, man, when it stops being fun, like I don't want to do it. This is not meant to be a job. Like I already have a job. I don't make this another job. It's And also with the kids, as fun as it was streaming with them, and we did it for quite a bit. I've still got some videos that I want to upload to their YouTube channel. It did get in the way of their schooling, so I had to stop there. I was like, look, man, you're not paying attention to your homework. We're not streaming anymore. I was like, yeah, okay, all right. They're not too fussed about it, so yeah.
I also think, like, for young streamers and stuff, I'm not saying it's a common view at point, but like when you invest money to growing your product, I think they instantly think there's going to be some return for it. Like that idea of all this money you fork over for equipment and gear, stream setups and overlays, like they think everything that they're forking up in money is going to come back in some way. But that, you know, as we've said, the beauty of streaming and content creation, that is never the case for most people.
Yeah, a lot of people have this dumb idea, exactly that, right? Like money and effort in is meant to be the straight bar that equals result. Like it's not like that, man. Like if you want to make money, if you want to make it a business, fine. Like go ahead, go hard. Just go in with proper expectations, proper research. But don't think that effort will automatically create results, because there's a lot more to it than that. I just think people that are going into it to try and make money are doing it for the wrong reasons.
What about about your, like, what and the kids? What are the hobbies? So like you interest them with your gaming side, but what about your lovely wife? Is there anything that she does for your that she does with your kids? Any other hobbies?
She's a gamer too. She's like a hard out gamer. She just doesn't game as much as we do because someone's got to keep this household in order. But she plays games too. What's the last game that she played? She was on the Final Fantasy remake buzz, and then she got into Witcher 3 as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why we got along so well. Gaming and
Big Papa, eh? No, that's really great. It's good that you have your family. They know who you are and they know what you do, and it's good that you're teaching them to do the same.
Dad.
Yeah, you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it balanced, so can't go too hard. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is there anything you want to do with your family in the future? You know, go to any like exhibitions, any conventions? I mean, I know COVID's still present in other parts of the world, but is there anything that you guys are looking forward to or have planned in the future?
Well, now that Nintendo World, Super Mario World in Universal Studios Japan opened up, I'd love to go back to Japan and do that. That looks mad fun. But in terms of like gaming events, I mean, I don't think they're really that interested in events themselves. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they went to see me at Nats. Not because I was playing Nats, rather they were just in the area in Hamilton, and so they stopped by. But they didn't, if they weren't in the area,
they wouldn't have been there.
They wouldn't have come. Yeah, I think they also came to 2018, and then the kids were like, "Oh, this is dumb. I'll go home now." So I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Man. Kids, we love them. We see them grow. They're fascinated. They love what they do, but then when they find out what Dad does, it's like, "Oh no, I'm a good dad. I'd rather stay home."
I even took them to that VR thing earlier, last month?
Oh, that VR convention thing. Yeah.
So we were there, and they loved it. They loved the VR stuff, and there was like some arcade games, and they enjoyed it. But after half an hour, they're like, "Okay, I'm ready to go home now." I'm like, "Bro, I just paid $10 all day parking, man. Just enjoy the day. Play some more games." Like, nah, I want to go home.
What game would you love to see in a VR space? You put on your headset and you can see like the whole world of that game in front of you.
Oh, jeez. I want to say like existing open world games like Grand Theft Auto or Cyberpunk or even Monster Hunter, but I started playing VR recently, and I can't do like this is me personally speaking. VR games where your character is walking. It doesn't work for me because sure, like my mind says, "Hey, your character's walking," but my physical body isn't. And I just start getting headaches. Whereas Whereas like open world games like say Elite Dangerous, when you're in a spaceship and your character is sitting down in a seat, not moving, but your ship is like, blasting off light years all over the place. Everything's all like fast paced action. That's okay because my character's body is sitting still in a chair. So yeah, I'd like to see some more stuff like Elite Dangerous. Think like Star Wars, but like open world.
Do you think VR gaming could blow up at all? It's made a significant mark, but do you think it could kind of make another blow up?
I think so. Especially with people like Valve, Gabe, Facebook, Oculus pumping money into it and whatnot. I just think right now it's just not mainstream affordable. I know people that have it suggest it is. It's like, well, that's you. Like I've been, I've been a PC gamer for years, but then there was like a decade where I just couldn't afford keeping up with PC gaming, and I was a console gamer, and that's just PC gaming. Once you get a PC, then you got to get a VR headset, and that's like another $1,000 or so, right? So it's not the cheapest thing, and then like VR tech is progressing so quickly. By the time you get one, a new one's out as well, a new model's out, an even better model. How do you keep up?
Yeah, no, that's pretty fair. I don't Yeah, it's quite an intricate setup. You kind of need like a big space for it. Like if you're living in like a shabby apartment, you're probably not going to get a VR. Like it's an intricate setup.
Yeah, like even in this little room that I got, I'm sure I can play games just sitting down. But some of the games that I got the kids on, requires a bit of movement, and they keep like hitting the walls and my monitors and whatnot. It's like, relax, guys. That's not their fault. This is not enough space.
I definitely think one highlight from last year for you was doing that. Like it doesn't feel like it feels like it's still pretty recent. It was that Game Changer thing. I was hearing the announcement on the radios and stuff. It was a cool concept. It was like radio announcers with doing these gaming challenges. Did you think it was a bit meh, or were you quite intrigued about it?
Okay, I'll be honest. I was definitely keen for the prize money. That was the main appeal. But on the night, I actually had a fantastic time. Like some of the what's the word? Organizations involved in that whole thing. I'm not really too fond of. But the night, like I would do it all over again for free. It was a fantastic night.
Before we recap that night, I want to go over your roster announcement. So you were on the team for George FM, and then when they showed your little reveal thing as part of the team, I'm like, this fucking guy, like he actually did it.
Yeah, man.
Good shit, bro.
Fave games. Leadership Larry. That's a classic right there.
Yeah, I'm really.
I can't believe I can't believe that slipped through that crack up.
Yeah, it's like brought out the big Papa Pino. Yeah, it was nice. The other thing is because these guys are in radio, a lot of them, like they're not typical media personalities. So, like we hear their voices, but we don't know them as people. Did they come across as decent individuals?
My team, yes, they did. Yeah, Kings and Sue, they were fantastic. Hey, like. I mean, I don't meet celebrities often, and it's cool and whatnot, but I'm not really like phased like some people are when it comes to it's a celebrity, blah blah blah. And I was kind of expecting this whole like, hey, I'm blah blah blah, therefore I should be treated, because I'm blah blah blah. But nah, they came off real down to earth and stuff, and they're like, like I'm here to play some games. Do you want to play some games? I'm like, yeah, let's play some games. In fact, Kings is actually a mate of my brother-in-law. And I think I met him before at my nephew's first birthday at my in-laws' house. So yeah, it was real cool. It was real chill. Bro.
And then the actual challenge commences. So they had it was a diverse range of games. So you had Crash Team Racing, Rocket League was another one. But as you were saying, you wouldn't trade that experience. It was you definitely enjoyed yourself.
I definitely enjoy myself. If I had to to critique it, I think the prize that was for first place was significantly. It was huge. It was like $5,000, right? And the thing is meant to be for fun. Sure, it's for fun, and I had fun, but there's also $5,000 on the line. So why wouldn't you try
Yeah, of
hard,
course.
right? Like if it was something else that was like worthwhile but not too fast, like at the time PS5 just came out, Xbox Series X just came out. If that was the prize, that would be great, right? Like if you win, here's your PS5 or Xbox Series X, whatever. And if you didn't win, it's all right. I'm a grown adult. I can just go buy one if I really want to win. $5,000, man. And then like the competition, like it was random. Like there was, you couldn't really, I don't know, like try and, because even if I had won my games, right, I could still be let down by my teammates, like in their games.
Yeah.
So I'm meant to be the one on the radio as the winner, the listener that goes in to compete, and they're there as celebrities. So I assumed that it was on me to get myself to progress in the competition, but no, it's not. So that's why it was just weird to me when you put a $5,000 prize when really it's kind of random to begin with. So yeah, and the other thing as well about it, it's like, who was this event for? So like me, Mikhail Bloody Simone, he got selected for My FM. He was their winner, and then I already forgot the guy's name. I think it was Evan from The Rock. He was their winner. So there was three of us, right? But like they didn't really interview us or ask us like stuff, right? So the event wasn't for us. Well, then who's it for then? And then they had these celebrities, like there was like music celebs like Kings, Jai from 660. There were like sports celebs like Sue and Silver Ferns from my team. Had like Dan the Hangman Hooker on the Rock team, but they didn't really interview them like, oh, what have you been, when's your next game or match, or what's your next single album release, whatever. Like they didn't really do that kind of stuff. So I don't know what they were promoting, who was it for, that kind of thing. It was that aspect of it was a bit strange, but I still had a fun night.
Yeah, I actually understand what you mean, because I feel like we barely like the gamers, that were representing the teams and stuff for the radio stations. I don't feel like we saw them enough. And even then, unfortunately, because I know you and Bloody Samoan, my first question is, why aren't these two guys playing at all on the ticket in the Tekken 7 segment? Like, why was that not? I assumed that you guys were assigned a certain game, so you were playing. Like, why not you for Tekken 7?
I don't know. It wasn't my shindig. Like I said, I still had fun. I'd still do it all over again. But I wish there was just a little bit more clarity or direction with what it is that they were trying to do, trying to achieve, trying to represent, trying to promote. Because it was a whole bunch of like all sorts of different ideas, but no one thing really stood out or had any real sense of direction. So
Yeah,
it is what it is. Yeah.
Seemed like a pop-up event, but it was still good to watch. It's good to see Big Papa Pino, people calling that out in the chat. Level of production, though, I do admit, was really good. Like, LPL have the money, though, to do that, so at least they put that level of production in.
Yeah, I mean, they had Sky. It was on Sky Sport 5 as well as Twitch. So it was like a proper broadcast thing as well. It's pretty full on. It was a lot of fun.
I guess, I I don't know. You're saying we don't know what they were trying to achieve, but when you think about it, do you think they even knew what they were trying to achieve?
I don't know. They probably just have. It just reminds me of like Warner Brothers when they had the IP for Fantastic Four, right? They're like, okay, so we've got this contract. If we want to keep it, we just need to pump out some sort of content. I just threw something out there just to please the obligations.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just making assumptions here. It's whatever, right? Like ideally they'll do more stuff and get more gaming communities involved, more gamers involved. If the whole thing is supposed to be for gamers by gamers. Why the heck did so many gamers like? I remember V putting out sponsored Facebook posts after the event, showing clips and highlights of the event, and a lot of gamers were like, "When was this? How come I didn't hear about this?" It's like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's meant to be for gamers, but no one even heard about it outside of like the people involved promoting the crap out of it to their mates.
But to be fair, though, a lot of that push was coming through the actual radio stations. So, like, if you were listening to my FM, if you were listening to George FM regularly, you would have at least known about it. But yeah, I think maybe they didn't really, in terms of their focus, in terms of where they were pushing it out. Yeah.
There was this collaboration with so MediaWorks, right? So MediaWorks, they came in from the radio side of things. V Energy Drink, they came in from, I don't know, sponsorship side of things. It was their, V was plastered all over the place, and then LPL, they were like the gaming org side of things, or gaming production, whatever. So it was a bit of everyone, but yeah. But what was being promoted? I don't know.
Well,
Had a whole bunch of celebs, but they didn't really.
What was the end game?
Yeah.
Well, one thing we can promote, my friend, bringing it back to Battle for the Grid, is Scorpina. We mentioned her earlier, quite early. One of the classic Mighty Morphin villains. I've always liked her aesthetic. Like the classic, like the Z Ranger. She looks really cool, man. And I know you said you haven't played her, but as a character, do you have any thoughts?
Okay, first aside, okay. She's the first character in the game with an actual face, right? Every other character has a helmet or mask on, right? And even Golda, just like in the show, right? The face is just stiff, it's still. Scorpina is the first one with an actual facial expression and closes her eyes, makes a face, that kind of thing. So I think she looks great, like from that side of things. In terms of Power Rangers, I'll be honest, I only ever watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers when I was like 5 years old. I never really got into the franchise, so I don't know much about the lore or the characters and whatnot. But yeah, watching the reveal trailer, watching a few gameplay videos of Scorpina, she looks gangs. She looks OP. I love it.
What about the cheap? Yeah, I know you love cheap. What about the like the diversity, like in terms of the franchises? Because like it looks like not most, but there's quite a few characters from the Mighty Morphin era. You've got RJ from Jungle Fury. You've got the recent Blue Ranger from the Power Rangers real life movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like the Samurai, Laura, the Red Samurai.
That's Kimberly Crossman. Once again, I don't watch enough Power Rangers or read enough Power Rangers to know the lore. But I think it's got a good representation. It's definitely heavily on the Mighty Morphin side of things. But yeah, I just don't know enough about that kind of thing. I do know that on the Facebook groups and the community groups, man, Power Rangers fans, not talking about fighting game fans,
Power Rangers fans,
or Power Rangers, but Power Rangers fans, holy moly, they're so passionate, and that's great. Whatever, right? Like you do you. If you love it, that's cool. That's great. But man, they're just like, they come in and they're like, where is this character? Why is this character not here? It's like, oh, like what is this? This game is dumb, blah blah blah. It's like, bro, like this is a fighting game. Like it's got your favorite IP, and that's great. That's fantastic, right? If you love Power Rangers, more power to you. But holy moly, it's the biggest windbags ever. Not all of them, just the very loud ones.
They are quite a unique fan base or community. Like I had no idea that they do what's called like a Morphicon. So it's practically like a Comic-Con for Power Rangers stuff. And what's funny, they'll even do ones for select Power Rangers. Like they'll do like a Black Ranger Morphicon or a Yellow Ranger Morphicon, and this gets crazy. Like a whole panel of just like Red Rangers going from like back in like Zeo and Turbo. Unfortunately, I do know a few of them. Turbo and fucking all those ones.
If you think about it, though, like every single like interest or hobby or community, they've got some sort of con, right? Like, I mean, heck, like something that you normally associate with like alpha or bad boy culture, like performance cars, right? Your Skylines, your Evos, your Impreza WRX. They have their own performance car cons. If you think about it, they're just car meets, right? But even those ones that are normally associated with like this like alpha stereotype of like, oh, like, you know, I'm so cool with my performance cars. There's like some weird people in those, right? You go up to them and like, hey man, is this your ride? Like, yeah man, this is my Lancer Evo blah 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 turbo 2000 and whatever model. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. You must spend a lot of time and money. And it's like, yeah man, this is my jam. Like, oh, you know, you're talking like some big burly like car model dude. And then you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. So outside of cars, what else do you enjoy? And then they just go, like even those hobbies and interests that are normally stereotyped with like some sort of like bad boy image or alpha culture, they're also just as weird as the nerdy people. They're just as socially inept.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Bro, it's
weird.
so weird to think that, like, back when the original Power Rangers aired, that it had that controversy because, you know, it's showing violence to kids. But it's that level of violence, like, back in, like, the late 90s and stuff. And the fact that it got, like, I knew it got shown in New Zealand, but I had no idea that it actually got banned, like, throughout various countries. And then, come to be it, we've become the home of the Power Rangers RP, you know? It's just like, it's just so crazy, you know?
That's funny, man. Like I see it now as even more as a dad, right? I think the media and also just people in general are a bit lazy when a fad comes along, right? Like people just find a way to, how do we ban this because I can't be bothered controlling it? I was like, oh, let's just ban it, right? Like do you remember as a kid? Okay, so Power Rangers, for example, like, oh, it's too violent. Okay, like even before our time, they did the same thing with rock music. They did the same thing with comic books. Okay, then the same thing with Power Rangers. They did the same thing with like with toys. What was the thing during when I was a kid? You know those little slap bands. You slap them on your wrist and they curl around your wrist.
Bro. Fuck, man.
That took off big time. So they banned that thing. It was dangerous. Like, well, yeah, dangerous if you do dumb things like peel off like the protective shell and trying to slice people up with it. They did that with chatterings. They did it with fidget spinners. Like whatever the fad is, right? Like schools will just ban it, and the media will make a big deal out of it so that they get clicks or whatever, eyeballs on their freaking like content. It's just a thing. It's annoying. But anyway, Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, it is just quite funny. Like, yeah, Power Rangers. I mean, I will admit, you know, I did have a thing for the Red and the Green Ranger, their rivalry. And then when you look at, you know, when you look back to it, it's just like typical, it's like Saved by the Bell drama. All the fights that they do, all they do is kicks. They barely punch the putties and the villains and stuff. It's like, that was campy violence, man.
Power Rangers is the shiz, man. It's like, you know, it's morphin' time. You know, power up, team up with your mates.
Yeah.
It's good, wholesome fun.
Wholesome fun.
Power Rangers.
All right, man. I'm going to take you to your final segment section. So, are you ready?
Always.
All right, bro, let's go. All right, first one. What's the funniest thing you've seen on a gaming stream or channel?
Holy moly. I can't think. Maybe that one chick who like forgot to go offline and then started recording some adult content, but she streamed it live and she showed her like full starfish and backdoor.
Oh, bro, man.
That was amusing. That was funny.
All right. Who is the all-time greatest player in Battle for the Grid?
Oh man, I know a lot of people are gonna get mad at this. But I this is probably bias talking, but also not biased. I reckon Skills That Kills.
Oh, really? Why do you say that?
STK. I don't know. He's always up there, like either top one or top two in events. He's always got like some great knowledge bombs, great content. He's always got something for every character. Yeah, it's either him or Fear Chimera, but I'd put SDK first, just bias.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's the biggest length you've gone to just to make your kids happy? Is it something you can answer while they're there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I spoil them. Not I think, I definitely spoil them. Like from major stuff to minor stuff to major stuff. It's like, I want McDonald's. No, it's like I said I want McDonald's. Like, okay, fine. Like I want an ice cream. Like, no. I said I want an ice cream. It's like, okay, fine. I want a VI headset. It's like, we definitely can't do that. I want a VI headset. Like, all right, here I go. I got a VI headset. Like it's spoiled.
They're conditioning you, bro.
Oh, bro, I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
Red Ranger, Jason Lee Scott, or Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver?
Dang. Oh, man. I want to, you know what? I'm going to say Red Ranger. Like, Jason Lee Scott is, yeah. Red Ranger.
All right. What's a tip you'd give someone who finds it hard to talk smack?
Just don't. Just don't, man. Stop trying, bro. Focus on your strengths. If you suck at talking smack, don't talk smack. Get a manager to cut your promos for you. Look at, don't do a Roman Reigns and get The Rock, because that wasn't a good matchup. If you're like Kane or like early day Undertaker, just get like, what's his name, Paul Bearer. If you're like, Brock Lesnar, who did he have? That other guy. I can't even remember. I'm not that big on wrestling. But yeah, just don't. Just get someone else to do it for you.
All right.
Focus on your own strengths.
In Tekken 7, what is Eddie's cheapest move?
Far out. Okay. I think relax. Just relax. Anything to relax. Relax stance. This is best move. It's cheapest. So many options from there.
Could New Zealand make a permanent transition to being a non-cashless economy?
Non-cashless economy. Could NZ make a permanent transition to being a non-cashless economy? As in, like, you need cash everywhere you go.
Digital currency. No more physical cash.
We're already kind of there. I mean, yeah, we can. Just once all the boomers die off. I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. There's just like places out in the wop-wops or like old timers who are still keen on cash. But get on the paywave buzz. It's more than just New Zealand though. You need a lot of factors, and I have a little bit insight on this because my wife works at the bank. But like credit card companies need to like stop with the dumb fees on merchants, because a lot of you go some places and they're like, if you pay by credit card, there's like a 2.5% surcharge fee. They're passing that on to the customer because they don't want to pay for it. Things like that. Yeah, so we're already kind of there. COVID helped in a big way. Like we don't want your cash anymore because you touched it with your like germs, just contactless payment. So yeah, I reckon it could eventually, not just in New Zealand but worldwide. Need a bit of help from everyone else though, like credit card companies. Stop being greedy.
Yeah, man, I agree. Fuck yeah. All right. Should people be allowed to use tool assist programs in game while streaming?
Yeah, why not? Like, in context, right? So if you're just playing a single player game, or if you're playing online and that's one of your gimmicks, right? You're not doing it to like cheat some competition or like cheat some prize in some tournament. Sure, why not? I think it's fine. Some of that stuff is even fun to watch, man. Like absurd, inhumane combos on like fighting games. That stuff's awesome to watch. I think it's great.
All right. Name 3 things you'd bring for your wife on a date night.
What? My credit card. That's all you need, man. Just my credit card, car keys, and my cell phone. Yeah, so I can take her somewhere, pay for things, and call her if I get lost.
Big Papa Pino. All right. And finally, man, who is your waifu? Pinolicious.
Oh, who is my waifu? Who has it been lately? That's a hard one. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that. Whatever. Usually it's whatever RDP has recently liked on Twitter. You know, it's like RDP liked this. I'm like, cool. I'm liking that too. Follow. All right, that's my wifey right there.
Bro, real talk, like his likes on those kind of tweets is a godsend sometimes.
Yo, man, like I used to be scared, like trying to like stuff on Twitter, because like, oh man, I'm meant to be like representing a brand, I'm meant to be a dad or whatever. But then I see him like throwing likes everywhere. I'm like, oh man, that's the kind of energy I need. And I say it with your chest. Now I started liking all the smart
You're
online.
sharing the love, man.
Gotta celebrate bro.
Yeah, sometimes it's unexpected, but definitely appreciated.
Definitely.
Sweet. Thanks, Pino, for your time, bro. Do you have any last words or shout outs for your friends, family, for people that follow you?
It's 2021. Don't be a dick. Like just keep it easy, eh? I don't want to read any more dumb tweet longers, please. Just don't be dumb so that people will stop doing dumb tweet longers. And also, like, if you think you've got something to say, like, just think about it first. Like, does this really need a tweet longer, or can I just say it in 140 characters or less? Just stop with the tweet longers, please. It's just it's just dumb.